On this episode of Bachelor on a Budget, we discuss 10 ingredients to enhance the flavor of your recipes. Let's get started. First off is butter. Butter is key. Butter adds fat and flavor. The reason food at restaurants tastes so good is because of butter. Butter transmits the flavor of your dish to your palate. Arguably the most important ingredient in the bowl is salt. So I got some sea salt here and some Himalayan salt. Both of these are excellent. They're essential to making a dish taste good because it's not just for making a dish more salty, it's for bringing the flavor out of the ingredients. It's to make food taste more like themselves. And without it, meals are just bland. I recommend getting some thick salt, a bit coarser than the traditional table salt. Table salt's good for baking, but for cooking, you're gonna want to use something coarse. Pepper, the king of all spices. Avoid the stale, powdered stuff and get yourself a meal. You want to crack in that good stuff. Pepper is great for adding a light spiciness to your dish. You're just gonna need some peppercorns and a mill, and you're gonna enhance the flavors of your meals. Fresh herbs aren't just for gourmet chefs. Fresh herbs add a ton of flavor. So, my favorites are green onions. They're great for chopping up on eggs or pastas or putting in stews. You can use the whites first and then kind of use the green trimmings for garnish. Parsley, great for some nice Italian pastas. Cilantro, kind of like the Asian parsley. Something like 5 to 20%. I don't know the exact statistic. It ranges, I believe, in different regions. Don't actually like cilantro because it imparts this like soapy taste, but cilantro is my absolute favorite. If you don't have that gene or whatever it is, cilantro is bomb. It's like adds so much freshness and just really brings a dish alive. Now the shelf life on these are probably about a week, so they don't last too long. Generally you want to only wash them right before, and for washing, what I generally use, at least for the more leafy types, is just put them right into a bowl of water rather than trying to rinse it off and then the water just destroying your leaves, and use very cold water if you can. And once you start cutting, they're not going to last very long, so you want to save them until ready. Citrus, limes and lemons, they're great. Anytime a dish needs a bit more aliveness, citrus is key. It is great for marinades, for cocktails, for dips like hummus, anytime you want to give the dish a bit more spark of acid. Now, if you're not a fan of citric acid, you can just add a tab of LSD and everything will be groovy. My favorite dish with lime juice is ceviche, and you can get that right here. Stock, whether it's homemade or it's instant, it can add a ton of flavor to your dishes. Whether you want to make something more moist or cooking a soup or just adding a bit to pasta, stock is going to impart a lot of flavor. But another great thing that stock can be used for is cooking grains. I like to put my stock in with quinoa when I'm cooking it. If you want to learn how to make it, I made one in my 5 things to do with rotisserie chicken video, so you can check that out. Here, onions. Onions have been cultivated for thousands of years. Yellow and shallots and red onion and green onions. Onions are great for imparting a ton of flavor. This is probably used in 90% of my recipes. I love onions. Yeah, they make you cry, but they also make you cry with happiness on the inside. These guys last forever, they're super cheap, and they tend to like really bulk up your dish, so you can add a whole onion in plenty of recipes or even more, and it just adds a ton of flavor and really bulks out your recipe. Don't store these in the fridge. If you haven't used shallots before, I definitely recommend them. They're a bit cheaper if you go to an Asian grocer, but they are like onion hybrids. They almost have a bit of a garlicky taste as well, but these guys are amazing. Garlic is one of the most important ingredients in the culinary arts. Intense and uniquely flavorful, garlic is used in virtually every cuisine. Generally, you don't eat this raw, it's always cooked. It comes in like this papery-like texture. Great way to prepare it is just using the side of your knife on each clove. Get out that papery skin and then just chop it up. I probably use this in about 85% of my recipes. Nothing beats the smell of onions and garlic cooked in some fat. Fermented fish liquid. So we got fish sauce and Worcestershire sauce. Both of these are made from anchovies and salt and water, and then they're fermented and adding a couple other ingredients, and they add a ton of flavor to dishes. You gotta use these sparingly. This stuff is great for stews and marinades, and as it says, it brings food alive. Fish sauce is essential for making a great stir fry. You want to use this stuff sparingly, but a couple drops will add a ton of flavor. Now it smells like dirty socks, but it tastes amazing. You can use this in about 90% of Asian dishes. MSG. What does that mean to you? MSG is simply glutamate binded to a salt. Glutamate is in a ton of foods. It's a super common amino acid. The salt content in MSG is only 12% sodium. MSG adds a ton of umami flavor, and umami is that savory flavor. Umami is actually the fifth taste, next to sour, salty, sweet, and bitter. This stuff is great for any dish that you just want to impart a bit more savoriness. Now you want to use it sparingly because this is powerful stuff, but there is no negative side effects. It's all farce. I've done a whole video that you can find right here on MSG, and I assure you that there are no dangerous side effects to MSG. It's all a pervasive myth. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys like this one. Leave a comment down below on what your favorite staple ingredient is for enhancing flavor, if there was something that I didn't cover. Love to know what it is, and I'm sure the fans down below would love to know as well.